This snowboard tutorial will go over tips on how to repair your board when you hit rocks and you get what are called core shots.
So these are the items we're going to be using. So that black piece, that black carbon is when you're burning, the flame isn't just a blue flame, it becomes yellow. You'll start getting that carbon. So we don't want to do that. This, it's just a metal scraper, good sharp edge. We got the scrub pad to kind of clean up things off our base. I was talking about the wax, we'll be doing that a little bit later. This will help to scrape off a little extra amounts of P-Tex, and then we got our iron there, and we're gonna do, that's our last thing, is we're gonna wax it after. So this board's been a bit damaged. You can see right there, lots of core shots. It sucks, but it's been a great board, it's been fun. I really have enjoyed riding this board. Regular camber, I really like that. That's kind of hard to find for me, but let's fix it up so I can still take this out rock boarding. I'm starting to get cracks. It's unfortunate, but that's what happens when your boards get old.
So we've got our setup here. We're ready to start fixing the board. I'm going to be burning P-Tex with my lighter. So I am indoors here so that the wind doesn't blow my flame out. It's a really nice day outside, but I'm in a garage, so I'm not inside, but I don't produce a little bit of exhaust from these flames. So a little bit of emissions coming out of this. So we're gonna get started. First thing I wanna do is I'm just gonna choose an area right here has been severely hit. This is my heel side edge on my back foot, so at the finishing end of my turn. It's a lot of times where I'm gonna be getting rock core shots, and then on my toe side edge too over here, but closer to the edge and towards the back. This is my style of riding. I move fore and aft quite a bit, and at the end of the turn, I'm really aft. I do have some little bit of damage up towards the nose, but we're gonna start with this metal file here, and then I'm gonna use this plastic one after I've got the meaty gritty, maybe even have some of my edge metal. So I've been hitting rocks. It's been great. It's day 7. I've been up there. The snow's starting to melt a lot. The last couple times I went up, I hit a lot of rocks. So I need to fix my board. So the next time I go up there, my board doesn't break completely. The P-Tex is the plastic, basically what it's made out of. And think about it, if you were to cut your fingernail all the way off and just hang, it's a bit of it hanging there. You want to trim that off. I've got a few different things to do that. Using metal on my base, I usually don't do that because it's harder. I usually would use plastic normally, but I've got some major damage. So I'm gonna need to break out some metal to cut these things off. Another analogy would be maybe, you got a cut and you've got some skin hanging off. You don't wanna rip that off because it'll rip more of the healthy skin. So I don't wanna rip all of that healthy P-Tex. I wanna cut it right there so that it's kind of like live skin. It will bond more with the P-Tex and I'm gonna melt into it than if I rip it out like that. So I wanna have a nice, good solid piece of P-Tex that would bond pretty well when I burn that down. So I need to get this excess off right here. So we're getting down in there. There's more P-Tex. This little piece that looks like a fingernail. So there's just an excess of amount of P-Tex that's curled up on there when I've ran over the rock. So I'm gonna just start making a little pile of this stuff. So I'm using my razor blade here so I can get a nice clean cut. I want to get these little hangnails of P-Tex off my base. And some of these are starting to go past the P-Tex wall and then more into my core, and we call that a core shot. So what happens if you get a core shot and you don't fix it? The snow will melt and the water will start absorbing down into your base. And a lot of bases have some type of wood core or something that similar to wood that will absorb. So it'll start absorbing that water and it will start to expand, and then your base and your edges are going to come apart because that water is going to get down in there. So not only am I doing this to help me go faster, also because I want a smooth base to go faster, but it also keeps the life of my board. You can see I have a lot of boards. I love to fix them up and take them out when it's early season rock boarding, so I don't care that I hit rocks, but when I hit rocks, I want to bring it back into my shop. I want to do some work on it. These are like hangnails. Big, like, I've had it before where I've hit a rock and it's just a big curly piece of P-Tex. So this P-Tex layer looks really good right here in this area. So I've got that. I feel like I've got it pretty good. There's the edge. Really, if you get core shots near your edge, that's more likely for it to blow out the edge because it's so close to the edge that when it expands, it's most likely your edge is going to start coming apart from your board. That wasn't too bad. Doing a little surgery on my board today. Yeah, I don't want to get it too scratched because I'm going to scratch more of my base. And then we're ready to start burning. So I want to be really careful when I'm burning this P-Tex because it needs to be at a certain temperature. A blue flame is going to be burning that pure, like, nice high heat that bonds to the board, but once you start getting it too hot and it starts getting to a yellow flame, you'll start to get smoke that comes out of it and you'll start to get carbon. We don't want that. So to prevent me from just dropping the P-Tex everywhere, I just have this metal can right here. So I'm going to just put it really close to where I'm going to start burning. And I hold the flame a little bit further away. I don't want to be like that. See how it's smoking? See the smoke? Oh, I do not want that. See, it's all turning black. It's going to get into my core and it's going to mess things up. So do not want that extra carbon into my core. So to get rid of that carbon that I just made, I'm going to have to burn a little bit of extra P-Tex for a little bit, just because I don't want that. I don't want that in my base. So if you do accidentally burn your flame too hot, just wait a little bit. And to get it to not burn too hot, you put it closer. See that? Putting it closer to my subject, whatever I'm burning next to. I'm starting to get a little bit of more blue flame. So you want to avoid that yellow flame. You want it to be burning at a blue flame so that it's nice, just the P-Tex. It's pure. You're not getting that extra carbon into it. And then the great thing is once you get it at that temperature, it just constantly burns. I didn't get all of it out, but I'd rather have that in there than not have anything at all. If you mess up, you don't want to be burning your base either. The rest of your board. So I've got a lot of core shots. Now it's good. I got some black into it, some carbons into it, but like I said, I'd rather have a little bit of carbon in there if I accidentally get it, or it's just I had too much because it's kind of trying to demo you. And that's it. So I just let that keep melting. I actually know people that have set things on fire by doing this inside, but that's dangerous. So I'm gonna let this cool down. So I've melted it into it. I've done it correctly at the right temperature. When I come back and scrape it, it just scrapes right off, flat flush with my base, the core shot's filled in with P-Tex, and your board's back to being flat, and you don't get water back into absorbing into your core. Again, that's gonna expand, that can really shorten the life of your board and break your board. So if you do go out rock boarding, or if you do out early season, or maybe you just hit a rock, it's a good idea to repair it and make sure that the core shot is repaired. We're gonna continue repairing it. I'm just gonna give it a little bit of time to cool down. Be patient. We'll go over the next few steps, scraping this off, and then we'll also wax it.
This is just one of the many snowboard tutorials that we have. Sign up for the full course at flowingfreeride.com. Like, subscribe, and comment. Cheers.